Uh-oh. Can't do it. Can't do it, man. You have to do it like this, because this is what got me one of these lights like you guys like. I think I'm using it the right way. You can't see me up here. I have to come down to your level. Right? Because I don't have that fucking extension cord. Right? Got my cigarette. Gotta have my cigarette. My coffee. In my experience, this is not like a one-time thing. It's not a one-time thing. Doesn't just happen once. It's 24/7, 365 experience, right? It's my experience. It happened a long time ago. It was just a dream, remember? Just a dream. But it left an impression on that's still going to this day, right? In my field of vision, when I'm looking, there's a field, is what I'm going to call it, like this. It's not a circle, because it comes out way out here in the periphery, way out here in the periphery. It's not like an eye, and it's not like an iris, although it's deeper. It's like this right here, except it comes in about here, in my field of vision. And it's that thick all the way, right? And it's always there. It's always there, right? That's why I say I don't like to drive, because there's this field right here, always, right? I can see through it, but it's like a silvery, gray field, right? But in this field, other stuff is going on. It's fucked up, man. Naked people. They don't have no fucking clothes on, just so you know. When people talk about the afterlife, I see it all the time in this field, right? It does happen all the time, but it's in this field. And they're not bad people, they're just people. They come into my house and they're pointing at like coffee cups and different stuff, and I'm pretty sure they're saying this is what this is and that's why it's the people that used to fucking live here. I'm pretty sure, right? But they're just like admiring stuff, which is why I say stop fucking stuff up. Don't be breaking stuff all apart. And because people have put work and expertise, like in China. That's what I see them pointing at China and stuff like that, man. It's like, God damn, man. Some people say, well, let's talk about heaven. I don't give a fuck what you say. Well, I see every goddamn day naked people running around pointing at stuff and doing other stuff like you do, except they don't have no clothes, not a stitch, which is why people are talking nudity. It's like, I'm sick of it, you know. It's just, that's how mundane nudity is to me. That's just to me, man. You got to make something out of it, and I say, you better get used to it, because you're not going to have any fucking clothes on when you leave here. You didn't come in with any, you goddamn sure not going out with any, you know. Well, we're going to this special place called heaven. I don't see it. I do not. My experience says no. Right? This is like not a one-time deal. Right? But the thing with this fucking sphere that this field that I see, because I can see through it for the most part, but it does this other shit. Right? And it can happen at any time, which is why when I was growing up, I wanted a driver's license. I didn't have a driver's license until the fucking military made me get one. I flunked the fucking test on purpose, tried to get out of this goddamn driver's license, man. And they eventually just said, we don't give a fuck, you're driving. That's a bad idea, man. I don't want to drive, it's not good. You know, because it doesn't show up on a vision test apparently, but it's always there. I can see it with the pigment of imagination. Maybe because it lasts 24/7, 365. It's not like a fleeting glimpse, you know. They're not always like right there, not crystal clear Playboy magazine type stuff, but they are definitely there. And their equipment is hanging off of them, right there. If they're dangling a tallywhacker, it's hanging there. Balls are hanging, the fucking tits are bouncing, all of that. So I don't know what you guys plan to go, and people say, well, I don't live here. Get the fuck out, because I do. You're in my world, and if you don't belong here, the best I can tell you is get a rope and get the fuck out. There's just one way out. Well, I don't want to do that. Well, you're full of shit. Sorry. Just my experience. I am from here. Expect to be here when I leave, but I try to keep it like what I want to be forever. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it tore up and blew up and fucked up and all that crazy stuff. But some people try to think that somehow, whatever, you don't get to have things. We're going to make sure because we don't like you. That kind of stuff. Right? But this other part of this fucking thing, because this is what the part that, if it just stayed gray, I would be so cool. I could drive, I could do this and function and have a good job and do things with this, because I can work through the field, right? I can work through the field. It's not a big deal. But I don't have control over it, right? So that's why I got this light, man, right? It does this. Yeah, that's different. Oh, wow, that's a nice effect, right? It does that to me, right? And it does oscillate through these different colors, just like that. Not the colors that you see like the rainbow, and the colors aren't always the same oscillations or anything like that, right? It does that. You think you can function like that, folks? Say, yeah, let's go get him a driver's license and he can go drive down the road and... What? Uh-oh. I gotta drive. I'm on the road 70 miles an hour. It doesn't go black like that. It does not go black because I can still see, sorta, going down the road. Or if I go get me a job in a factory and I'm putting parts together and, oh, there you go. There you go. It does dim out about that far. About like that. Can you live your life like that, folks? You got to have a driver's license. Yeah, I don't want one. You have to have it. But I have maintained a lot of control over it, but it still pops up. It pops up all the time. I can be walking. Walking is cool because I can function at 5 miles an hour or 3 miles an hour or whatever I'm going, running. You know, I can't run anymore because my feet are messed up. But it kind of makes me bitter because I used to run 10Ks for the March of Dimes with a goddamn cigarette hanging out of my mouth. You can't do that. Get the fuck out of here. I smoke 20 cigarettes every day. Well, 15 to 20. Well, you know, you smoke more and more and more. Not for 50 years, I haven't. Same old cigarettes. But that's what the light that comes in. And when I go to sleep at night, turn all the lights off, shut all the electromagnetic supposed energy off, turn off my fucking routers and all the computers are shut off and my phone shut off, everything is shut off. Go in, close my eyes, and There it is. That's what I see in my sleep. Remember, except it's clear into here, right? And it does oscillate just like that. It's not in the ring. Let's see if I can make that happen. Starts out like, well, in my vision, it starts out over here like this, right? And you don't see any of that, right? None of this other stuff is lit up. And it lights up from here, and then it comes up like that, like a Pac-Man. It goes, pow! And it explodes in light, right? And then another color will come in and come over there like Pac-Man, snap! Oh, it's awesome. So I don't know what you guys got going on, right? But when you guys talk about afterlife and heaven and all that cool stuff like that, I don't see what you see. And I try to treat you like what you want now is what you're going to want in the afterlife. You know? The beauty things you see. But I also treat like gays and lesbians, transgenders, and all these other people because they are going to be in the afterlife, in my opinion, my experience also. And the things that they enjoy should also be in their future. The same stuff they like to read, the same stuff they like to watch, which is like when you guys are doing whatever you're doing, you might not be quite alone as you think. If you have grandparents or whoever come to visit, you're in the middle of the throes of passion, whatever. Just what you might want to think about. But if you think you're not from here, that's cool too. You know, you can think whatever you want. But my experience, right, says that whoever was here before is still here now. In the same volume, as it were, as I am now. If like me, I'm a 5'10", 100 and, I don't know, what am I now, 126, I think, pounds, is what I'm going to be in the afterlife. And I can only be in the occupied space of that 5'10", 126 pounds, the rest of my immortality, right? It's not like somebody's going to say, get your ass over here, I'm a medium, I got magic powers, and all I got to do is say your name and you got to show up. Not going to happen, you know, which is funny, because I try to talk like Bill and Ted, you know, but instead of calling them up and just going wherever they go, you got to walk, because all these things they just walk, they're walking, they're trudging, but they're not trudging, they're enjoying reality, right? But if you go and destroy the reality, then whoever wants to, like, experience that reality will not be able to experience it in their walk-on, because it's not going to be there. And if you're going to allow these fucking fanatics, or whatever you want to call them, to dictate what the future is, then that's up to you. And if you just let them say, you just run around saying, love, love, because people are going to sit and walk in on like certain groups because they don't like you as a ideology, well, then you're going to have big problems, right? Because in my experience, remember, you forgive people a lot, right? And you just forgive us so I can come back and kick you in the nuts tomorrow, okay? And because I kick you in the nuts tomorrow, forgive me, you know, because that's what Jesus says. Forgive them, because, you know, it's forgiveness is, you got to forgive people, and you got to forgive people to an extent. After certain times, fuck that shit, man. I'm going to tell you the same thing. When you get your dues, forgive me, you know, because that's what Jesus would You know how Jesus is. Yeah, buddy. That's your way. You say it, you do it. So they like to say it, but they can't do it, remember? They want you to act like Jesus, so they don't have to. Right? So like, for that little person that came into my life, like the grammar thing, that bad grammar, right? The kiddo came to my house with my kid, man, and she was I don't know, she just watched television, you know. That's what the thing was. I said, well, that's not right. So I started getting her these books. We started reading these books, right? And then she starts talking and stuff. She starts reading too, right? So in that 4 months that I had that little kiddo, I didn't have her. She was joining my experience, whatever. I get to learn who the fuck she is, you know. So we went from couch drone, whatever it does, watching those fucking shows, to reading. Remember, because all these grandmas thought that they were grammar, and because that's all she talked about. Me and my grandma was reading this book, me and my grandma went down here, me and my grandma went to the library, because if she had a question, grandma can answer it. So grandma said, let's go down to the library, get permission from dad, say, gotta go find out some information. Go down to the library, which is a crazy cool place. Pick out a book in her section that was discussing the topic that she wanted to discuss, and sit down and read the book. And so by the time her birthday rolling around, she would do puzzles too, you know. She went from couch drone to, I don't know what we was up to, 40, 24 or 52 piece puzzles in 4 months, man. It's bad grammar. That's bad grammar. Fucking man. You know, a terrible person I am, man, teaching a child to get off the fucking couch. Fucking unreal, right? So I'm doing 2 grandma's duties. I'd taken over 2 grandmas. 2 grandmas! Well, so they could do what the fuck ever, and go sit on the couch apparently, you know, fuck that. Let's go do something. It's fucking hilarious. Right, but because of that whole incident, that wasn't the end of that incident, just so you know. That's right, because that didn't work out. That didn't work out, you know. So, off and off we go some more, and because, you know, my brain is hammered right now because I'm dealing with the effect of smoke weed, you know. I smoke weed. Smoke some cannabis, and somebody put some in my cannabis, and I'm going to say it's like insecticide. Soaked my cannabis in insecticide before it came to me, which was very not cool. You know, but forgive us, because, you know, that's what Jesus would do. And then send these people over to your house. I would never call. I don't have a reason to ever call the authorities. And in my opinion, when you call the authorities and send them to someone's house, that's like you going there. Well, that wasn't me. I was just concerned. It was you. You. In my experience, none of those people show up just to show up. Somebody sends them. And sometimes for a good reason, but most of the time, you get these assholes that just say, well, I'm going to show you something. I'm going to show you just what I can do. You can. But it's just my opinion that when you do that, then it's you, you know. These people say, well, you got this 32 feet. And I'm going to say, if you got your name on that thing and send these other people there in your name, That's you that showed up, not them. I don't burn them for it. You know, I treat them as respectfully as I can, and I just put your name on that badge that he thinks he's got. That's what you think you are. Right? That's how I don't ever call him. If I got a problem, I'm coming over. And you're well within your rights to utilize that 32 feet however you think you got to use it. Right? But I'm going to be showing up. I ain't going to send somebody else. I got balls as big as fucking Texas. I don't have a problem like these people that's out here. Yeah, you know, fucking Lassie. I know Lassie. You're probably watching, aren't you? No, you should stop smoking. I ain't gonna stop smoking. I've cut down, and I'm gonna, I'll help you stop smoking. Lassie, what's that look like? Some dog out there with a brown turd hanging out of his mouth on the profile, got that furry leg back here in the back, got a little dog turd tricking out there. Oh, they thought I was talking about Clint Eastwood when I was talking about movie stars. You look like a movie star when you're wearing that cigar. Really? No, looking to the side. Yep, that's Lassie. Total respect. But guess what? Motherfuckers haven't smoked in his video since. Huh? You know what I mean? So yeah. So that's what I've been coming back from, is some serious stuff. Back in the day, people hate you, try to get rid of you. They'd squirt Visine in my drink, man. And that's that song, remember? Falling in a Pale Blue, Scream, or Hold My Breath When I'm Falling. Can't take the feeling of nothing as it's rushing by. Remember that? That the heartbeat quickens, and so is my mind, and stretching out throughout space, collapsing time, because you don't know how long you've been gone. You don't know anything. But the memories do come back eventually from something like that. And there was a lot of experiences like that. Because they had to change Visine because people were doing this to people, like me. I don't know why you would do stuff like that to people. Maybe you can tell me. Huh?